Jim here, Jim's Hot Rods and Beyond. Get back to the C4 transmission. We're talking about rebuilding the front pump. That's where all the magic happens. Without fluid pressure, your transmission burns up. Well, I got the whole thing together up to that point right there. Okay, so let's start with the back side of the front pump right here. This is where your fluid transfer goes through the front pump to the back of the transmission, which is the third and reverse, or first, second, third, and then reverse, blah, blah, blah. There is a thrust washer like this, and it's got two little tangs on it. Well, those tangs go right in the back here and here. This is crucial because there are two holes that do nothing, and then there are three holes that fluid passes through. If you look at the back side of this, there are four reliefs. Two of them are for the tangs that index into the holes that are not being used. The other two reliefs, which are round on each end, line up with the orifices in the back of the pump. Okay? So in other words, the two tangs have to go here like that. Okay? So this back side of this thrust washer goes down inside there against the clutch pack, which is actually the bearing to separate the first and second. Okay, so we'll put this on last. This here fiber board is a bushing, and you want to inspect that for cracks. I don't see any cracks in this. I don't have an extra, but if there was cracks, I would buy a new one. You can get it through a repair dealer. So this one's good. This has been cleaned, and I'm setting everything on a blue towel like this. Okay? The way that you take it apart is an orientation of the way you should put it back together, and vice versa. So when I take this off, you want to put it down on the reverse side, so when you pick it up, you just assemble it going towards. And some people say, oh, you shouldn't do that because then you can get fused. But guess what? That's the way I do it. It works perfect. Okay, next, in order to rebuild this pump, so you have a thrust washer, a fiber washer for the housing. Okay. And then there lies on the snout, right in here, you have one groove, two grooves, and then three grooves right here. And then you have four grooves right in here. Okay, you see that? These are lock rings. And what that looks like this. And what you do is you want to, it's like an earring. That's the best way to put best example I got for you. Basically, you put those two together and they snap together. To release it, you just push it again. Okay? That's it. So, self-explanatory. To get this out, you push down on this side or the other side. At the same time, this isn't going to work. It's not going to work with two hands. I need to get into it, you know. So anyways, if you do this, you just, unfortunately this one's not coming out. Oh, here we go. That's it. And basically you just want to separate that. By the way, if you're wearing gloves, this stuff is sharp, so it's going to end up taking pieces of glove off. You make sure that doesn't go inside the pump. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous if it does do that. So anyway, sometimes you got to give it a help. So you just take a pair of snap ring pliers and just stick it in there. And sometimes it doesn't always work for me. But you get the idea. You just kind of pop that out of there. And that's pretty much it. You just kind of rotate it a little bit. Some people can grab that. Unfortunately, I can't grab it. So there you go. See it? There it is. We want to discard these. Because there lies in this here bag the sealing ring kit. You have 4 new ones. But we're going to leave that to the side. Because we have to get the rest of these out. Sometimes these are a trick to get out. And that's it. Now some people are going to say that, oh hey, you're scratching that bearing surface up. You know what? I don't think it matters, because what it does scratch is probably, I mean, this thing is hardened. You know, these are hardened, so, and the cast iron is not going to matter. So anyways, we discard those. Oh, by the way, always keep those, because if you snap one of these new ones, you could always reuse one of those, because those ain't bad anyways. They just get replaced. So anyways, just there you go. All right. Next. Little 1/2-inch deal. This might have fluid in it. Always kind of pinch it together so it doesn't fall, just in case there's something. Oh yeah, see how bad that was? This thing's disgusting. that's it. Okay, a little demonstration. On the Fords, this uses a gear type concentric wheel with a half moon machined surface, and what that does is this creates fluid pressure that transfers between the passages. Basically, it forces the oil that goes through this. Now, on this, you can see that there's a flat surface here and a flat surface here. That's the index for the torque converter, basically. You gotta forgive me here. I'm trying to fucking think at the same time. Why everybody's making noise going down the street. Now, there's no check balls in this one. If this was a Chevy, this would be full of check balls. So you don't have shit to worry about. That's why I always hold it together and then slowly release it. Because if this was a Chevy, the 12 to 15 veins that go all the way around would just fall out on the floor, and then you'd be having a big fiasco. And there would be check balls inside the case. So you want to inspect this. But this looks good. There's no scoring. This is a complete smooth unit. Basically, easily rebuildable. I could put the damn thing back together and call it a day. But I have to get some new towels because I don't like shit in it. Now, I don't see anything, but we're going to take that out and we're going to inspect that. Do you know why? We're going to wash all of these surfaces in gas because all of this fluid had that stupid shit from Red Devil that I put in there. We're just going to wash this in gas. Oh, and some people say that the gas leaves a film on it. Bullshit. This is ethanol. You're going to put detergent freaking fluid on it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay. I'm going to blow that off. And that's it. We're just going to set that aside. By the way, you got to make sure that this thing, there is a difference. You got to make sure it's orientated up. Totally flat surface. So when I put it back in, I go like that. Make sure you pay attention to what side is on this. Because you can see that this is more flat and pronounced than this. Okay, because if you put it this way, it's wrong, because you can see when you put the torque converter in, it'll hit these two wings on each side. So you know that goes down towards the bearing. So, all I'm going to do is pick this up, drop it back in. Here's the next piece. Okay. I'm going to put some gas on this. By the way, I'm holding it. I'm holding it so the way I took it off is down. On this, I don't think it matters too much. Now, there is a dot here for a timing mark. Well, I'll give you a hint, that's a load of shit, it don't matter. But usually the mark means face down. So that's the way we're going to do it. We'll put that right there. Again, if there's an orientation dot, face down towards the bushing. Okay. End of story. We're just going to wipe that shit out. Okay, you got two things left. You have the front bushing, which this one's been totally leaking forever. And then you have this sealing edge, which goes to the inside of the case. This is a giant O-ring. We have to take that out. And sometimes they're a pain in the ass to get up. You just basically take, there you go, boom. Just throw that away. Take the corner of a towel, because that's what I like to do, and just run that in one sweep all the way around. Look at that. Look at the junk on that. I'm gonna run some, I gotta run some clean gas through that. So I'll be back. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna dip this in here. This one don't fit. Hold on. You got to see that. Check that out. There's sand in there. Holy shit. All brand new shiny. And we're going to set that right there like that. Well, here we go with the same thing. We'll just clean that up. With the chip brush. First I soak that chip brush in there. Kind of just rotate it. You know what? We can actually push down a little bit. looks like I'd be able to do the same thing to the front. You making her hurt that. Make sure you go around the side. And that's it. See? There's a little bit of stuff in here. That's all she wrote. We'll put this over here. We're gonna glue this off. Okay, well, that's it. Now that it's all disassembled, I'm on to the next video. I'm going to show you how to take this out, put it back in, put this thing back in. End of story. There you go.